Get ready to dive into a mystery that defies reality itself. In the heart of Area 51, a dark secret hides: Project Abigail. A story that echoes in the darkest corners of the internet. A narrative that creates a delicate and uncertain link between science and the unthinkable. But what is truth? And what are just whispers in the dark? Abigail Western, a name that resonates with pain and mystery. They say she was just a girl, a scientist's daughter, imprisoned in the confines of Area 51. Subjected to cruel experiments, bathed in radiation, her flesh and soul twisted, underwent a dark metamorphosis, a nightmare that became reality. The US government, always shrouded in secrets, hides the truth in the shadows, as always. Did Abigail become a monster, an aberration of science, or something far more sinister? Rumors mix with the possibility of communication with beings from other worlds, of psychic powers awakened in the midst of chaos. But where is the line between reality and paranoia? Where does science end and terror begin? Conspiracy theories multiply, fueled by the oppressive silence of Area 51. The truth hides in the shadows, and doubt settles in our hearts. Dive with us on this dark journey, unravel the secrets of Project Abigail, and question everything you think you know. What really happened to Abigail Western? What are the limits of science when ethics are left aside? Does Area 51 hide secrets that defy our understanding? Don't let the truth get lost in the shadows. Leave your comment, share your theories, and let's unravel the mystery of Project Abigail together. Hello everyone, welcome to the True Crime Files Investigations channel. If you are a lover of real criminal stories, get ready for an exciting marathon. Every week, we will explore shocking and remarkable cases, the most complex and intriguing ones, with an in-depth analysis of the details and motivations behind each event, which leads us to question human nature. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and ensure you're always up to date with our exclusive content. Leave your like to strengthen our community and motivate me to bring more and more impactful and unprecedented stories. Get ready to discover the backstage of the crime world, learn about the failures of the judicial system and the stories of victims fighting for justice. Welcome to an investigative and emotional journey. I count on you on this journey. The truth is about to be revealed. So, fasten your seatbelts, because the investigation begins now. It's impossible not to get lost in the countless theories that surround humanity's scientific advances. But among all the mysteries that science presents us with, one stands out for its aura of secrecy and controversy: Area 51. A place shrouded in shadows, where chilling legends come to life. And in the heart of this fog of mystery resides Project Abigail, a dark experiment, whispered in secret, where radiation became the protagonist of a nightmare. Abigail, a young girl, a guinea pig in a study that surpassed the limits of reason. The results, as intense as the radiation itself, spiraled out of control, giving rise to an urban legend that echoes in our worst nightmares. Area 51, a territory marked by war, a stage for the cruelest and most terrifying experiments that the human mind can conceive. Nuclear tests, obscure medical examinations, all under the veil of secrecy. And at the center of this stage, Albert Western, a scientist with an ambitious and disturbing project, to unravel the effects of radiation on the human body. A project that demanded a strong, mentally resilient volunteer, someone willing to keep secrets at any cost. But Albert, in his arrogance, never imagined that the volunteer would be his own daughter, Abigail. A young girl who, in her innocence, trusted in her father's protection, without imagining the horror that awaited her. Abigail, then, becomes a prisoner of the project that bears her name. Preliminary studies, examinations that attested to her impeccable health, prepared her for martyrdom. Confined in an isolated area, a cell with a bed and a few personal items, she awaited, unaware of the transformation that would turn her into a monster. The first radiation sessions revealed nothing abnormal. Abigail, 8, behaved like a normal person, fueling her father's hope. Perhaps humanity could resist radiation, a revolutionary discovery. But hope dissipated like smoke. Abigail's skin began to transform. Her face acquired a physiognomy with aged features. Beauty gradually faded. Her teeth became primitive, sharp, and her behavior erratic, savage. A creature that moved aimlessly, without human grace. The creature writhed, an animal trapped in a human body, using hands and feet to crawl across the floor. Communication, once possible, vanished, giving way to growls and roars. Abigail, the sweet and cheerful girl, disappeared, replaced by a monstrous being, dominated by uncontrollable instincts. Hunger, once moderate, became insatiable, a voracity that haunted the corridors of Area 51. Albert, the scientist, the father, consumed by terror and guilt, couldn't bear what he had done. Rage, a whirlwind of emotions, drowned him in remorse. In a desperate act, he wrote a letter to his colleagues, an agonizing account of his sins. He confessed to having turned his own daughter into a monster, begging, in his last wish, that they keep her alive. He believed, in his madness, that there was still hope, that science could reverse the horror he had created. He encoded hope, the key to Abigail's salvation, and handed it to his colleagues, before taking his own life. The letter, a dark testament, was found by a colleague, who immediately alerted the authorities. Panic settled in Area 51, a palpable fear that prevented scientists from entering Abigail's laboratory. Slowly, with trembling hands, they turned on the lights, revealing the horror that lurked in the shadows. A humanoid creature, hairless, with bulging eyes and grotesque teeth, stared at them with hatred. The deformed limbs, a testament to the cruelty of radiation, made it impossible to believe that this had once been the sweet girl Abigail. The shock was so profound that the idea of reversing the situation seemed impossible. Fear, an implacable parasite, convinced them that Abigail was a threat, a danger that needed to be contained. Instead of fulfilling Albert's last wish, they decided to condemn Abigail to death by starvation. They denied her food and the substances that kept her alive, accelerating her transformation into a bestial being, a chimera. Screams and roars echoed through the corridors, a lament that made the scientists tremble. After days of agony, silence settled in. They believed Abigail had died, but the relief was fleeting. The next morning, the bodies of 2 security guards were found near Area 51. Abigail had escaped, a ghost that haunted the surroundings of the secret base. The truth about Project Abigail remains shrouded in mystery, a secret that Area 51 guards with ferocity. In 2019, Edward Snowden revealed documents that mentioned the base, but nothing about Abigail. However, he found references to Abigail Halen, a volunteer in the Biosphere 2 experiment, in 1991. The experiment, which aimed to simulate extreme conditions of human survival, left Abigail with sequelae, such as weight loss and risk of brain damage. The question that floats in the air like a dense fog is whether Project Abigail boils down to a simple urban legend, a horror story to scare the unwary, or if, in fact, it echoes a distorted reality, a dark experiment that Area 51 strives to keep hidden. The truth, like an elusive shadow, hides in the depths of the secret base, protected by layers of secrecy and disinformation. Did Abigail Western, the young guinea pig, really exist, or is she just a macabre invention? The stories that circulate on the internet, with their disturbing details about radiation experiments and grotesque mutations, fuel the imagination and fear. But the lack of concrete evidence leaves us in a limbo of uncertainty. Does the US government, with its known propensity for secrets, hide a dark chapter in the history of science? Or is the legend of Abigail just a reflection of our own fears, a projection of the dark side of humanity? While Area 51 remains an enigma, a labyrinth of mysteries, doubt will persist. Truth, like a nocturnal butterfly, flies in the shadows, fleeing the light of reason. And we, like curious moths, are drawn to the darkness, seeking answers that we may never find. Project Abigail, real or imaginary, reminds us that the line between science and terror is thin, and that the darkest secrets can hide in the most unexpected places. Thank you so much for watching this story. Your presence and support are essential for me to continue creating quality content. So, if you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes. Your subscription and comments are fundamental for me to keep bringing quality content. Leave your opinion in the comments, always with respect for the victims. And together let's build an even better community. Thank you so much for following my work, and I'll see you in the next episode.